Okay, hey everybody, it's me, Martinez-Bateman, and this is planner time. I don't have a lot to show you. I say this every fucking time, and then it's a 30-minute video. So, I'll just get right into it. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I have to yawn. Alright, let's start with my little personal... Is this a pocket? Is it a passport? Because it's probably a passport. Nothing has changed on the outside. Nothing has changed with like any of my setup. I did just add this today. Life is not a struggle, it's a wiggle, which I think is cute. And I think the front page of this has changed a little bit. Most success springs from an obstacle or failure. This is my thing. This is like my rate card. This is over many years. See, it starts in 21. So it's not as heinous as it seems. But yeah. I get, credit based on how much I've spent there. And so this is the first card that I went through all the way. And then it says, "You are naturally ambitious and you will make a name for yourself." Thanks, Panda Express. It's always so nice when Panda Express believes in you. And then I haven't done much in this that I can show. But I did go to the Equal Rights launch. And I painted like the crowd. I also painted my lunch. Here's a taco. Here's some guacamole. And here's a little empanada. This was really delicious. I wish I knew who the fuck catered it. They said it a couple of times, but I couldn't tell if it was like a restaurant name or a family name. But delicious. And I will be volunteering for the Equal Rights for All campaign. They asked me if I wanted to be on their social media, and I was a little bit negative. I was like, I'm always here for y'all whenever you try to relaunch the Equal Rights Act. Maybe that was mean. This is for Oregon, though. It's not a national one. And then my medical journal, still very much useful. Drawn gold card. A zine I got at a show. Did I show y'all this? I just put it back here because I really liked it. And then my little Uniball 1 is still just like the perfect pen for this. So let's put that over here. And then this guy, I haven't done a lot in here. Oh, I think I didn't tell you this last time, but I added this little sugar skull charm, and I also added this ring that I got at Michael's to just like help these guys dangle better, although it's already like coming apart. Here, let me put it back together. Boop. There you go. Nope. There you go. But yeah, this is my Galen Leather journal. Last time you saw me replace my Rhodia gold book and put a new one in. I have a new pen lineup, and I will tell you that when I talk about currently inked. I haven't done any table of contents. Y'all saw me do this the last time with my cool Garvey fountain marker. I was not able to find any more information on that thing. I Googled it. I posted on Reddit. Like, no one knows what the fuck this is. But I swear to God, I've seen these in like thrift stores and stuff, and like yard sales and stuff, and like never thought about it. But apparently this is like a one of a kind. I saw something that was similar to it, but not the same thing. And it was like on eBay for like $150. I was just like, oh my God. But I love it. I'm going to keep playing with it. I did sort of paste in this. I think, did I show y'all? I think I showed y'all, hopefully on a video that I actually posted, the Friends of the Library bookstore near us, just called Tidal Wave, has like collage books that you can buy that are, they're like really old, or they're really messed up, or they have pages missing, but they're good for like using for collage or like whatever. And so I did this. I basically put tape over a bunch of the words that I wanted to keep clear, and then I gessoed over everything, and then I just painted a bunch of stuff and drew a bunch of stuff with my ink marker, and then I took the tape off. So this is Abnormalities, Hallucinations of the Age, Always Occupied, Philosophical Delusions, the Uterus, Womb, Almost Possession, God Disease, Awful, though not necessarily evil, Eminent Modern Lunacy, Prescribed Insanity, Ingenuity, Trance. So that was just like from the words that were on the page. And then we've got my little Trantifa thing, and then we've got a bunch of like marks that I made at Pen Club. Portland has a fountain pen club that goes on every month, and I try to go there. And I went there this month, and like this is me like trying some other people's, my own pens. These are mine. This one was another person's pen. This was another person's pen that I was trying to get the ink to flow in, and I got it pretty good. So I felt pretty proud of myself there. And then, yeah, this is my currently inked. So let's take them out in order. Lammy 1.9-inch stub is inked with Diamine 150th Anniversary Golden Honey. Osprey Architect, that's this one. I also put nail, like manicure stickers on it. That's what these like little stickers are. And I think it makes it look really cool. That is filled with Jack Irvine Emerald of Chivor. Vintage Waterman. Okay, so I bought this pen. I took a look at it. It felt like it was clean, but it wasn't. So I filled it with Private Reserve Plum. But it had some other like black ink. You can see this is the ink in here. It had some black ink or something in the feed that I didn't notice, and it turned it into this like kind of blue, really, really dark navy color. But look, isn't that nib amazing? It's pretty. Let me try and go back to this page. It's pretty, it's not that flexy. It's a little flexy. But it's mostly pretty stable. But still, what a beautiful pen. And it writes like, oh my gosh, like butter. Like a dream. I picked that up at Pen Club from a guy that was there. And then Bennu, and that's one of the reasons I was so excited to ink it, because I was happy to have it. Bennu, also Emerald. Oh right, she's a twisty. Also Emerald of Chivor. I think that that's like a great ink to go with this pen and her like colorways. I don't usually match like my pens to my inks, but it just felt like it. It felt like appropriate. And then this is my Vintage Waterman Flex. It came back from the repair shop like last month. So it just had black ink in it from the guy who repaired it. But then I used it all up. So now it has Private Reserve Plum in there. So here's the Private Reserve Plum. And this one has a lovely flex. That's what flex means. If you're not familiar, it's when the line can go from really thin to really thick. And usually when you're writing sort of cursive in English, you want the downstroke to be thicker than the upstroke. So that's why you do these loopies. But this is the same pen, this and that. I was showing someone what it did. And then let's go back to Currently Inked, Traveler's Enamel. This just has a cartridge in it. Come on, buddy. And it's Kaweco Red. This is such a workhorse pen. This pen is amazing. It's like, and I bought it for, you can get it for like 75 bucks, I think now. Not the green enamel one, just the all brass one. I don't know how much the green enamel ones are. They're more rare. But I bought it when it first came out, and I just have loved it. It was such a, I don't think it was like maybe $40. It was not that expensive when it first came out. But it's been such a fucking, this pen will never die on you. And then TWSBI M with some Lamy Dark Lilac, the new Lamy Dark Lilac. So there used to be an old Lamy Dark Lilac formula that was quite a bit different to this. Not quite a bit, but it was much more shimmery. And this one just doesn't have the same kind of pop. I'm okay with it. It's fine. But I definitely have seen pictures of the original Lamy Dark Lilac and feel some kind of way. But yeah, so that's all my inked pens. And then after that, it's just like journaling. So I'm not going to switch to that. And that's kind of it for me right now in terms of journals and pens. I don't have anything else. I haven't like gone anywhere or bought anything. I guess I could like look at one of these where I like put some stickers in my journal. Let's see. What's this one? Describe. Oh, I've seen this one. That one's the one I've done. On individual scraps of paper, each write down 3 things in your life that you regret. Once you've finished, reveal your regrets. Then after you've discussed them, tear each one into pieces in an effort to lessen its pain. I don't know. I'm kind of a no regrets kind of person. I don't really have a lot of regrets. I just think that like every choice I've made has led me here. However, let's do like we'll honor the what's it called, the spirit of the assignment. I guess if I had 3 regrets, seems like a lot of regrets. I don't know, but I'm gonna say family is like a regret category. Work is a regret category. And then, I'm going to say health is a regret, but with a big question mark. Because I know that a lot of people would probably look at me and my life and say that I should have big regrets around my health. But I don't actually have that many. I have chronic illnesses, right? Like there's only so much a person can do with chronic illnesses that are genetic. But my big family regret, I would say, is I'm going to do it also while I like put this painting in this frame I got at the thrift store. My big family regret, or not painting, woodblock print. My big family regret is that I stayed in contact with my family for a really long time. And part of that was, it was really important to me because I had been kind of abandoned by my parents. It was important to me to like not abandon them back, if that makes any sense. I don't really think it makes sense now that I'm like saying it, because like those people kind of sucked. But it just felt like I didn't want to be like them in any way. And some part of like being like them was like just leaving when things got difficult, or when I had somewhere else I wanted to be. Or they had somewhere else they wanted to be, right? Like that's how they acted. And I just didn't want to have anything. I didn't want to do that shit, you know? I didn't want to walk away from someone if I could fix it. Or if I could, you know, show up in a different way that would like be more productive. I'm actually going to do this because there's like a cute note on the back that I don't necessarily need the whole internet seeing. But like, so, you know, when, oh, look how pretty that is. It cuts off the border that my friend drew though. Should I take the border thing off? Let's see. I'm going to go back here and remove it. But like, the thing is, like, when someone, it's not the same. Like when you like abandon a child or you leave them. Oh, okay, that's much better. Without the border thing. It's different. When you are an adult and you leave a child, you know, to their fate. What? Is this backwards? Oh my God, it is. Huh. That's why that was weird. Hold on, I'm struggling with this. When you're an adult and you leave a child to their fate, right? You abandon them for whatever reason. That is different than when you are that child and you are deciding whether or not to work it out with the people who fucking left you in the first place. It's just way different. Oh, I guess those are the only things that are keeping it in. These guys, these two little things. And there's like a ledge over here. But this, oh, I put it in upside down. Okay. Don't worry. It's different when you are that child or the grown-up version of that child, and you're like, hey man, I really need to make different choices in my life and like not be in abusive relationships. That's different. It's way different. But for me, it was like, I really needed to know that there was nothing to salvage with my relationship with my family. In order for me to leave, and that took me like a really long time. It took me like years. And I don't regret it because it happened in its own, like everything happens in its own time. But I do wish, like, I wish that I lived in a world where someone like me, oh my God, come on. I wish I lived in a world where someone like me had the resources to know that I could leave, and also to leave, like, not when like my family was supporting me financially, because they weren't, but, you know, like the emotional resources to leave. But, you know, we don't live in that world. We live in capitalism, and the more marginalized you are, the harder things are for you, and the more it costs to do something like cut off your abusive family, you know, emotionally and sometimes financially. Not financially for me. In fact, I have more money now that I cut off my family because, you know, they were thieves. But that's not really funny. I shouldn't laugh. But did I do it again? How did I do that? Oh, I turned the whole thing. Okay. Once more. So that's like a regret I have, is not being able to cut my family off sooner. Another regret that I have around work is like, I grew up in a space, hold on, I'm going to take this off of the camera so I can like turn it around. I grew up in a place where like work was really, how do I say this? Like work saved my life. You know, working at different jobs, being exposed to different things. Those gave me opportunities for professional development. It gave me opportunities for social development. They gave me opportunities to make friends that like weren't from my neighborhood or from my family or from any of the circumstances I grew up in. And so like, and I went to private school. It's not like it was all, you know, the worst. I got a scholarship to go to private school, but I didn't find, just because the people I went to school with had more money, they definitely were not more mentally healthy, I'll tell you that. But in work and in working places, I found my peers, and I found, you know, a place I fit in, and that was really wonderful. And it was also really hard to give up, or not give up, because I still work, but it was really hard to step away from when I needed to not actually be involved, you know, in work that much. I needed work to not be my whole fucking life, and I didn't know how to detach from that. Like, I didn't know how to have my own life. I didn't know how to have my own anything. I'm just gonna, like, do a little decoupage. We'll see if it works. I don't want to take away from this beautiful print, but this, like, thing is all fucked up, so maybe I'll find something that will work while we talk about regrets. But yeah, I was way too devoted to work. It was my whole identity. It was everything. I would spend so many, you know, I work 80-hour weeks, more than that sometimes. You know, I used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and text my whole team, like, hey, I'm awake. And then we would, like, text each other, my work team, we would, like, text each other when we were going to sleep and shit. And, like, every single person on that team, there are, like, boyfriends and husbands either hated us or, like, they had their own shit going on. No. But yeah, no, work was everything. Work was absolutely everything. And there was no, this might be it. This might be good. There was no place for anything to exist except for work. Yeah, the blue version is too much. This is good. And that was really unhealthy. It was super, super, super unhealthy. And it cost me, in the short run, I got, you know, a career, and I got a lot of feelings of purpose, and I, you know, made a ton of friends and all these things. But in the long run, why isn't this closing? In the long run, maybe you need to go here. No. What's going on? You know, in the long run, it really cost me, and it made my health worse. You know, my conditions were flaring up, and I didn't know how to stop working because I was too dedicated. I guess it just is like that, and I just didn't notice. All right, put that back where it goes. Can this? I think this can fit. We'll see. But yeah, so that's my big regret on work, is that I didn't learn how to have like work-life balance until I was like in my mid to late 30s. And that feels like a long time to not know how to do that. I wish I had, oh, here it is. Good. I wonder if I can get the Mod Podge out of this. I mean, this is like 50 cents. I could get a new one if I want. But yeah, like, oh, and I got the blades for this cool antique craft knife, so I can use it. Although, they are just absolutely not the right kind of blades, so, they may not make the actual right kind of blades anymore, but, it was a little bit of a learning curve trying to figure out how to get this blade in here without this thing just falling apart. But yeah, like, I wish I had learned work-life balance, like, earlier than I did. I wish that was something that I had done. I feel like I need a pencil. No. A working pencil, please. No, I don't have any pencils. Do I have an erasable pen. That might work. Or I just need like a squirter. No, that's not clear enough. And then let's see, health. Like, so I have chronic illness. I think a lot of people who don't know about chronic illnesses, or they just don't like, I don't know, whatever. Would it be better to put it here and then try to blend this? Because I can't, these things don't go together, right? Like I can't connect them. Or should I rip these up into little pieces and just like bloop, 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 put little rippy bits on so I don't have to deal with the pattern? Interesting question, Raina. I don't know the answer to that. Anyway, let's just start with the easiest way to do this, which is to do this here and then fold this over and then score it. Okay, cool. And then get all of these things away from here and get my cutting mat. But yeah, health-wise, I think that's like, I neglected my health with work. I used work as an opportunity to like commit self-harm in a way that I knew would be acceptable, that I knew I wouldn't get in trouble for, or that I might even be celebrated for, right? And for me, like, you know, I've been aware of my health problems for long enough that is like, that's like the safe and acceptable way to just like be awful to myself. And I grew up in an environment where the assumption was that I am supposed to be harmed, right? Like that felt like my purpose was to like, you know, like take shit from my parents, for them, from them, etc. And so now here I have this place where like, oh, I could fulfill that sort of like original programming, and I don't have to go home, and I don't have to be like directly abused by them. But I can still have like really destructive relationships, you know, either with people or with just like environments. So I think that's like a health thing. Oh, and smoking. I should have never started smoking. I started smoking when I was 12 years old. And I quit when I was 18, but I have lung damage and asthma, and that was just so stupid. That was very dumb. No one should smoke or vape. Weed too. I don't think you should smoke weed or vape weed. Like, I think you should get high. If you're of age and you're living in a state where that's not a fucking crime. But I don't think that people should smoke things. That's really bad for you. And I know like just straight weed is like less bad for you, but less bad for you, still bad for you. Starting to smoke was like one of the dumbest decisions of my entire life. And I'm glad I quit when I did, but it's still like my lungs are still absolutely fucked. Like, I cough stuff up in the morning. I get a respiratory infection every single year. It's only through like a lot of diligent care that I don't get fucking pneumonia every year. You know, self-neglect is just the fucking worst way to ruin your body. It's so stupid. It's so boring, and it's not fun at all. And then you might as well have done drugs or something, you know, or done something like really reckless, right? Like, you know, be a skydiver, or I don't even think that's that reckless. I don't think being a skydiver is as reckless as being a chronic overworker. Like, I think a lot more people have died from the stress that they got at their jobs than have died from skydiving. All right, this can go somewhere over here. And this I can put back in the, oh shit. So this is one of the problems with these blades not being actually made for this, is that if I let this go down the way it's supposed to, sometimes the blade won't come back up. So I have to I have to do weird shit. Anyway, I'm still happy with it. That was way more ergonomically nice than using the X-Acto blade. It was much more pleasant. All right, so in theory, we're doing something like this. Does that look too jank? Or if I cut it into like littler strips and just interspersed them, would that look better? Oh, come back. Well, we've only got one life, right? So let's go. This frame was $1.50, so I don't feel like I'm like losing anything by running experiments. But yeah, so let's cut them into strips. That are like, this big is gonna look cooler, but it's gonna be way more problems. I guess I'm done sharing my regrets. It's probably been about 30 minutes. And I'm probably not going to do this whole project on, oh no, that moves too much. Probably not going to do this whole project on camera. Especially the cutting part is so boring. But yeah, do you have any regrets? Put them down below. Oh, and then we have to symbolically rip up our regrets. Here, I'll use my craft knife. Meh, meh, meh. Meh, 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 meh. Yeah. Take that, regrets. Oh no, it's stuck. Boop. Yeah, what are your regrets? Put your deepest regrets in the comments. I'm joking. I am so joking. Only put regrets in there if you want to. But thanks for hanging out with me and figuring out if I want to Mod Podge this frame. And I'll show you next week. If I do it, if I actually do it and it's not horrifically bad, or even if it is, I will tell you next week. Bye.